Welcome. You are about to enter a place you've never been before. A place where dreams are made reality. And now,
welcome to the one and the only DITC Social with your host, Andre Prue M.
Powered by Gatineau.tv, Angelic Empowerment International Network, and BlasterRadio.com. Hello, bonjour, and welcome to another DITC Social live on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and BlasterRadio.com. I'm so glad to have you join me this evening. Tonight, we'll be discussing some hot topics, yet keeping them light and fluffy, and taking some of your questions. So feel free to comment on whatever platform that you are on, and we'll bring you into the conversation. Ce soir, nous discutons de certains sujets, mais en les gardant légers et amusants et en répondant à certaines de vos questions. Alors, n'hésitez pas de faire part avec vos commentaires, que ce soit sur la plateforme sur laquelle que vous vous trouvez, et nous vous ferons parvenir à la conversation. Now, before I get going, I'm going to say hello to Julie and hello to Miss Lillian. Bonsoir. Hello, ladies. Before I get going, I would like to pay respect to the Algonquin people, who are traditional guardians of this land. We acknowledge their long-standing relationship with this territory, which remains unceded. We pay respect to all Indigenous people from this region, from all nations across Canada who call Ottawa home. We acknowledge their traditional knowledge keepers, both young and old, and we honor their courageous leaders, past, present, and future. Nous rendons hommage au peuple algonquin, gardien traditionnel de cette terre. Nous reconnaissons le lien sacré de longue date, l'unissant à ce territoire qui demeure non cédé. Nous rendons également hommage à tous les peuples autochtones qui habitent à Ottawa, que ce soit de la région ou d'ailleurs au Canada. Nous reconnaissons les gardiens des savoirs traditionnels, jeunes et âgés. Nous honorons aussi leurs courageux dirigeants d'hier, d'aujourd'hui et de demain. I want to preface this conversation by saying that this is a safe space and that our conversation today is based on mutual respect, openness, and understanding. Je tiens à préciser que nous sommes dans un contexte sécuritaire et que la conversation d'aujourd'hui se doit être imprégnante de respect mutuel, d'ouverture et de compréhension. Some of this show tonight will be live and some of it is pre-recorded, but you can still comment and be part of the conversation. You'll see on the screen if it's pre-recorded, it'll be written at the top or at the bottom corner, but it'll allow me to provide a more fun show for you all. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. Today, we have, let's go here and here. Today, we have another Frocking RuCap. The guys are here to talk to us all about RuPaul's Drag Race, interview with Harea, and an affirmation with Lillian from where I sit. As well, we close the show with the Tone Clusters. They are working on quite a queer choir. I don't know why I did that. There we go. Technology. So we're finishing the show with quite a queer choir, the Tone Clusters. They are about to launch a show that we're going to talk to a little later on, all about resilience, and we get to play a clip for you later on, and I'm in it. So that's even cooler. OMAKG. It's going to be some fun tonight. I hope you enjoy yourself. Without further ado, it's time for the RuCap.
Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Theo Tams and you are watching DiversityInTheCapital.tv.
Greetings, Ottawa, Canada. This is Chad Michaels from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Hi, Ottawa and Gatineau. I'm Carol Pope, and you're watching Diversity in the Capital.
Hello, Ottawa. It's your girl, Sofanda.
Hey, it's Eva Avila.
Hi, I'm Ria May, and you're watching DiversityInTheCapital.tv.
DiversityInTheCapital.tv.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Girl, the shade of it all.
DITC Socials, another Frocking RuCap episode with Shaddy B and G.
New episode will start now.
Hello.
Hey G, hey everybody at home. Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Let's chat about this week's RuPaul episode, girl.
Yes, let's chat about this week's episode, singular.
Yeah, really.
So let's start with the UK.
Let's start. What happened?
Well, we had one of our favorite mini challenges. The reading is what?
Fundamental.
Oh, and look, here's Sister wearing her 3D reading glasses.
Oh yes, very cool. This is my favorite mini challenge. Like
It's
reading,
definitely
I'm Shady.
one.
I'm Shady B. Of course, I like a good reading. I love going to the library.
Yeah, you would do well in this challenge.
I would love to, especially when I was 20. I would have. I don't know. I probably would have been muted.
I don't know. I feel like you might give out some better ones at your current age.
More layered. There'd be more layers to them probably at this point, eh?
But yes, I mean, it was a good challenge. It was fun. There was some fun little jabs. They got quite aggressive, actually. I mean, Sister told Taste to slip into the Thames River.
Yeah, that was. I don't know if that's reading. I don't think that was reading, but
she delivered it well.
She did. It was quite funny. Rue laughed, which is always important.
Well, and Sister won, so I mean,
she
did something right.
Now, my favorite read though was from Lawrence, and it went something like, "Ellie Diamond, you are so stupid that you had to study for your COVID test."
Yes. Yeah.
You know, that was just brilliant. That's a good read. It's a read of the times. It was just perfect. I think my second one though was from Bimini, and she said something like, "Speaking of filler, Ellie, need help packing?"
She's actually she said it to both Sister and Ellie, who, I mean, they kind of do feel like filler queens at some point. Jason saying tackiest reading glasses ever. I will agree, it's not the greatest that we've seen.
Cheapest. Certainly the cheapest at like 25 cents.
They had to spend all their money on COVID PPE.
True, I guess. Like, just go to the movies. They would have been a much nicer pair there, but hey, maybe that's all they get over in the UK.
But yeah, I mean, I also actually Taste made fun of Ellie as well for her stupidity. She called her Ellie Zirconia as opposed to Ellie Diamond. And Ellie was like, I don't understand that, sorry.
Those are the best when the read doesn't make sense to the person who's being read. Those are my favorite. It's like, I don't understand.
Well, maybe Lawrence was right.
Maybe. maybe there's some truth behind that read, eh? So Sister won, and she won what, an extra 15 seconds for the main challenge, to pick up stuff for the main challenge.
Yes. Our main challenge, Lockdown Super Sheroes.
Super Sheroes! This one's perfect. I love this. Is my favorite competition or main challenge of the season, mainly because the queens have to make their own stuff and they can't rely on Bob Mackie dresses for the win.
I actually love this challenge too. I like design challenges. It really shows the creativity. This is unconventional materials, so I mean, they're using literally, I mean, garbage really.
Pretty much. Like, Ru goes to the dollar store, Dollarama, and just buys a bunch of crap.
Yeah, but we've seen queens come out in things that are just absolutely gorgeous. So
phenomenal.
It's always a really good challenge. We have up here our special guest this week. Again, Raven, season 2, season All-Stars 1. Raven.
Now, I believe it was you that told me that Raven is RuPaul's makeup artist, and that's why she was there. They didn't just fly her across the pond for a 15-minute show. Yeah, at first I was like, why are they flying Raven all the way over for 15 minutes? Like, couldn't they find someone more local? But then I think you told me it's like Ru's makeup artist.
Exactly, because now we're into the COVID times. The UK came back after COVID had hit, and yeah, they can't bring in people really. So who's here? Raven. Let's put Raven on.
Which is
a shame,
perfect
though, because I feel like people tuning into the show, since it's kind of mainstream blast off, might not know a lot about Raven, and we probably won't get to see her on a future All Stars because, well, she's doing Ru's makeup.
Oh, I guess so. There'd be
I mean, great for her. Don't get me wrong, but
Ru, I can't do your face. I'm too busy doing mine. I guess we'll never see Raven on an All Star. I guess, but
which is the same.
She
really
certainly
good.
is. She is good. She definitely is a fan favorite. So, should we talk about who won the main challenge?
Yes.
Andre, put
oh,
up
there
pick three,
she
Andre.
is.
There she is. Look at this outfit, girl. I can't believe she made this from dollar store crap.
Exactly, and I wish we could play the video because as she came out on the stage, she flicks her shoulders forward, and the big wings just appear.
Like even Ru went ooh, like I went wow. Ru was like ooh.
She wanted her moment, and she got it.
She got it.
100% agree. She was the winner this week.
Absolutely.
She is also from fashion school, so she did go to design school. She lost the first design challenge of the season. She wasn't happy. So this was a big thing for her. And she came through. So great for her. Another honorable mention, though, this week was Ellie Diamond. Do we have a picture of Ellie Diamond?
There she is. Ellie, best outfit that she's worn all season, I think, and she made it out of dollar store crap.
Absolutely, it's like gorgeous.
She had time in COVID to make better dresses for the comeback, and she had to make this one like that day or the day before, and it's fantastic. Way better than her seaside thing. Like that thing was awful.
Yeah, no, I honestly wasn't sure who would win. I was still feeling Harea, but I mean, she came down the runway. She looked amazing. Everything was perfect for her. Clearly came in second place, which definitely agree with.
Yeah, well, it wasn't Shiro. It was, I don't know, candy corn, candy pop, bubblegum pop or something.
Yeah.
Willy Wonka.
It's a dress, but you're right. I'm not getting super Shiro from it.
This girl is not going to save you.
So I mean, she didn't necessarily meet the challenge, so maybe that's the problem.
I think that was it. She could have possibly gone up against Harea for the win for this one if it had to be a little bit more She-Ra or something. I don't know. It's missing something. I'm not a fashion queen myself.
No, I'm feeling it. I get what you're saying. I will agree.
I have a piece of trivia for you, G, and I don't even think you know this. Did you know that Harea owns her own fashion business?
I did not know that.
She has her own company. It's called Le Boy George.
Oh.
So if you're wondering, like, what does the name Le Boy George mean? Well, George is actually her boy name. I believe her heritage is Spanish. So in Spanish, George is Jorge, which is spelled Jorge, but us English people would call that George. So yeah, that is what her fashion business is called, Le Boy George. Isn't that fun? Look, you didn't know that now, did you? I'm teaching you now, honey.
Literally had no idea. Did not know that. Which is surprising. You'd think she'd be promoting that more heavily.
You would think so, like wearing T-shirts, leboygeorge.com or whatever her website is. This outfit's available for my 2021 fashion collection.
That's what you should. Well, maybe she has a big plan for the end of the season.
Oh, maybe. Or maybe Ru doesn't allow her.
But something I want to talk about is the bottom this week.
Let's talk about the bottoms. You can't forget about the bottoms now, can you?
So, no. And here's Sister, which I'm happy she had a concept. Just like, I don't even know what I'm looking at when she first walks out.
Okay, first of all, she had the same amount of time as every other queen. Amazing that she could make all of this stuff from Dollarama so quickly. But what's going on here? I don't see superhero, lots of stuff. Like, I think she couldn't figure out a look and just put it all together. And she had 15 extra seconds. I don't know if she needed it.
She didn't. She went, it's again, concept. She thought out this whole idea and then she she just like it's too hard to read. I don't know what's going on. I can see like, and we're looking at a picture when she's walking on the runway. You're having to think like, well, wait, what is this? What's that blue bag on her hip?
Yep, exactly.
But we had Sister in the bottom against Taste, which, I mean, in my head I was thinking like, well, Taste is clearly going to win this lip sync. Taste is a performer. But I was upset because personally, I think Bimini should have been in the bottom against Taste.
Yeah, do you have a picture of Bimini there?
Yeah.
Oh my
Bimini
gosh.
wraps a curtain around herself. That's all she's done here. She's a very skinny queen. She has a look going, I get it, but literally she's wrapped a curtain around herself.
And a tablecloth. Don't forget the Party City tablecloth.
And then whatever that is, you're right. Whatever else she's wrapped, it's just...
It's awful.
Like, Sister, again, not a great outfit, fine. But this is just like, this isn't a design. This isn't... You didn't do anything with the material that took an unconventional material and transposed it into something fashiony. You took a curtain that's fabric and wrapped your body in it.
Right.
And to be honest, she came in above Lawrence. Do we have a picture of Lawrence? So Lawrence, again, took IKEA bags, what it looks like, but has done a whole shaped corset. Her breast area is covered. It's refined. It's done well.
She had a mask on, which
concept.
You know, it's Shiro. Bimini's, I didn't get any Shiro from her. Like that.
No.
That chick ain't saving you from anything.
But this was a better outfit, and frankly, it should have been Bimini and Taste in the bottom. I'm happy Sister went home. Don't get me wrong. That's who I had on my list to go home next.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, I don't know.
I agree with you, but I like Taste's outfit, at least the top half. Like for a Brillo pad, that's pretty good. I think it reminded me of Bag of Chips from last UK's and Lemons from Canada. I think she also did a Brillo pad. So Taste definitely did better than the other two outfits with Brillo pads. She should have just put a skirt on or something. It's just a point. I know, it's too bad, but
it is what it is. She won her lip sync. Oh, what did you think of the lip sync song? It was Jess Glynn.
Well, you know I'm a big Jess Glynn. Like, I cannot wait for this COVID to be over. I said to my husband last week, I'm going to a Jess Glynn concert. It's going to cost us a lot of money. I don't care where it is. It's going to be in the UK somewhere because everyone over there loves her, and we are going. Love Jess Glynn. Yeah, as soon as the song started, I was like jumping off the couch.
The first thing I thought was, oh, it's Jess Glynn. Now, US. What did we get in the US this week? We got nothing. Nothing.
We got no episode. There's no number.
Can't hold a good queen down.
Yes, we had a documentary.
It was interesting to watch. Like, great. But I guess maybe what we talked about last week, Rue really is trying to get herself to this live finale point. Because I was expecting a real episode. I thought, okay, you're gonna play this and then the episode. No, just this. Apparently there was a wig shortage. I didn't realize this. So when they're getting ready,
no idea.
There was a wig shortage.
I had no idea.
First shows, big production shows, to go back into production, but I mean, I guess we'll have to wait for next week for Snatch Game, which
we will. It was still a good episode, for a documentary. I wasn't expecting, Rue promised us Snatch Game last week, next time on Rue. So I kind of think, last week was this week kind of thing. So I'm like, why are we watching a documentary? I want to watch Snatch Game. You don't do this right before Snatch Game. It's the most exciting episode of the whole season. But yes, as I like to say, the season is just dragging on.
Which is okay. We have nothing else to do.
We've got I guess so. We definitely have nothing else to do. Do you know what I actually think might actually happen? I think that maybe that season 14 or All Stars will start before season 13 wraps up. Do you think that's possible? It'll be the first time ever.
It could.
It could happen. It is COVID years, right? You just never know. You just never know. Hey, Andre.
Oh, hello. So what can we expect next week? What's happening? So you talked about a Snatch Game. What's that? What's going on?
Well, Snatch Game is their iteration of Match Game, classic game show. So it's impersonations. So we have different queens doing different impersonations. I'm fairly certain I saw on Twitter that Gottmik is going to be doing Paris Hilton.
That should be good. That should be good.
Impersonations are hard. You never know what to expect.
Gay Twitter was suggesting that Candy was going to do Cardi B, but in reality, she's doing someone called Patrick Starr. Not sure who that is. I don't know who that is. Oh, is it? My favorite. I'm sorry. I'm going to be rooting for Elliot with 2 T's just because she's doing Blanche from Golden Girls. The Rue, I think, is her real name.
Rue McClanahan.
Yeah, so that's who
I'm. Is she doing Rue McClanahan or Blanche Devereaux?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but it sounds interesting.
You should watch, and then you'll know.
So I actually did watch Match Game, a couple of years ago because I am a little up there in age. So I do know some of what you're talking about, and I have watched a little tiny bit of RuPaul's Drag Race. But so if I'm somebody that's never watched it, why should I?
Well, it's full of hilarious fun. It's easy. It's not, it takes you out of this crazy COVID world we live in. Lets you just go into fantasy land.
It's a cult. It's a cult, Andre. It's a gay cult.
Opens up your creativity because, they don't have their walls up. Like anything goes.
So I was watching all that while it was happening in the virtual backstage. But so as a female impersonator or a drag queen myself, I would never be able to go on RuPaul's Drag Race or any drag race because I can sew, but that was back in high school and I made boxer shorts. It wasn't a dress or a gown or anything like that, right? So that's one of the requisites, right? To be able to be on the shows, you have to be able to sew or...
No, plenty of girls have won with a glue gun and some hot...
And a curtain.
And a curtain.
And a curtain. I was like... I know we used to tease girls all the time about wearing curtains, but now they're actually wearing them now. So what's
fashionable?
Up with that?
It's fashionable. You just need to have good hip pads.
Yeah.
So I understand that they're given a challenge every week, right? So that was this week's challenge, is that they had to make a frock out of whatever they could get it from a Dollarama, which in the UK it's called something else, right?
Yeah, I don't know. A Poundorama.
Oh my God, I'm going.
I'm not drinking today because every time I hear that word, I'd have to have a sip or
something. They have dish soap in the UK. It's called fairy soap, and I just need to have some.
Yeah. See, I had a partner that was from the UK, and I know the flaky bars. Those are the only things I know about, unless like pure chocolate, which I actually like. But well, thank you both so much for this RuCap. I'm looking forward to seeing what you got going on next week.
Next week you're going to talk about Snatch Game, so that'll be a whole episode.
Whole episode. Maybe we'll just dedicate it all to the Snatch Game next week because we'll probably have a lot to say.
All right. I don't know what we can do, but we could probably show videos as well, as long as we don't probably share the sound, but we could share little clips as well. So cool. This RuCap will actually keep growing every week. It's only our second week doing it, and the new DITC Social. I appreciate you both coming on and stepping up and doing this. And we've had a couple of people. Kim Keeley was commenting. The biatch fights, making up lots of fun. We can actually swear. We're on Blast the Radio. We're allowed to swear, but my nieces watch this show sometimes. Okay. So I try and not have a potty mouth.
I don't think I swore once.
And the fashion is good. What's that?
I don't think I swore once this episode. I'm actually quite impressed. I hope my mom's watching. I don't think I swore. I'm going to have to go watch it again. I don't think I actually dropped one.
Well, then we'll have to give you an award of some kind. And then Lillian's laughing at glue guns and pins and wires. So yeah, I remember the days where we used to, have to go to the dollar store and get whatever we could.
Yeah, but I like the talents that they had, because it does. Yeah. It's not just what you bought; it's what you can actually do.
And the real talent really comes out in the episode. It's one of my favorites. Money can't buy you this challenge, as I like to say.
Yeah. Well, thank you both very much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you both next week. And keep on smiling, y'all.
Thanks, Andre. You too. Thanks for having us again. Bye, everyone. See you
Bye,
next week.
everyone.
Bye. All right. Well, so why does it do that? I have no idea. There we go. So I love that RuCap. We are actually going to keep getting more interactive every week as the show goes on and as we keep playing with the show and seeing what we can do. We are also on blasterradio.com, so that's why we are trying to give as much description as possible for those of you who are listening sur la radio. If you or your business wants to be a sponsor, or if you want to be on diversitycapital.tv or promote your business, you can send me an email to andre@diversitycapital.tv, and it'll be my pleasure to talk with you and get your clip and promote it as much as I can. All right, let's remove one button. My guest is here and he's ready. Yes, I can see him. All right, so it's just so cool with the virtual background, except I normally like to talk to my guests before they come on, but we're learning and we're having fun. So my first guest tonight is Alex Harea. Alex grew up in a household surrounded by music. Every day in the basement of the house, his mother could be heard practicing the bassoon, and on the main floor, his father would be practicing the violin. He never really had a babysitter with his parents. He would go to work with them, and he would just tag along and sit in the orchestra pit with them. Harea developed his impressive and engaging performance ability with a live on the stage, whether it was playing. Oh, my script is going too fast. Whether it was playing the violin at recitals or being in the high school coffee house or even playing competitive tennis and hockey. He thrives under the pressure of an audience. You may have even seen him, like I did a couple of years ago at the PSPC Black and White Gala that I was the DJ for, and Harea Band performed several sets where I got to meet them. And as well, he opened up last year for Theo Tams just before we went into lockdown at the National Arts Center. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Alex Harea. How are you, Alex?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing pretty good. Things are good?
Yeah, things are great. Amazing introduction. Appreciate it.
Well, I'm part reporter now, so I just search for whatever I can find on the people, and then I creep their pages, and I found that on your website, so it was a really good one.
There you go. You're killing it. And I got to say that the RuCap needs to stay. It's a good segment. Keep the RuCap going.
So are you a RuCap? Are you a RuPaul's Drag Race kind of watcher too, or?
You know, admittedly, I have watched it. I wouldn't say I'm an avid watcher, but every time I've watched the show, I love it. So, and it's also just hilarious, and the two guys are pretty funny. So I appreciate.
I've actually prided myself on saying, like, I'm the only gay in the village that hasn't watched it. You know, I mean, I haven't watched it because I don't want it to influence my drag persona, which I haven't done Horizon in several months. Anyways, I've got hairy arms, which I don't think I've ever had in 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could get inspiration, and you know, it might up your game a little bit.
I know I should probably start. Well, once the Canada's Drag Race comes on, like, I'm going to start watching it as well, so I can interact better with the RuCap, because I'm really appreciating Shady B and G being here. I put the call out and they jumped on it, so I'm really happy. But nice. Let's get into you. You grew up in a musical household, as we were saying. Both your parents were professional musicians. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I definitely attribute kind of everything I've done musically to that surrounding that I grew up in. And yeah, it's just, you know, to be able to grow up and kind of watch my parents have this, I don't want to say unconventional career, but a different kind of schedule than all my friends, where they were kind of home all day and going to gig in the evening. They were classical musicians, but still, you know, it was just to be able to see my parents kind of have success in that field really gave me confidence. And obviously I played instruments from as far as I can remember. I think my dad started me on violin when I was 2 and played until maybe I was 10, and played a variety of different instruments. And yeah, just, you know, very grateful that my parents were able to kind of foster this love of music and keep it kind of around me all the time. I think it really contributed to my musical ear, and also just to believing that it's something that you can do for a living, and turn your passions into something you can make income from.
So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Ottawa. I have not left Ottawa aside from traveling and stuff, but one of my goals now have been like, the past year has been like, I'm sure everyone's kind of like assessing themselves a little bit, like sitting at home a lot. And one of my goals now, I think I've realized, is that I think I want to get out and maybe move to a different city at some point and get a change of scenery a little bit. But I love Ottawa, and it's hard to leave.
So obviously your parents were they were in the orchestra?
Yeah. So my parents have like an interesting background. Long story short, my dad is Romanian, and then he got a job in the orchestra in Venezuela, in Caracas. My mom is Canadian from Ottawa, but she auditioned for the same orchestra when she was living in London, England. And
sorry,
and no worries. And then they met in Caracas and moved back to Ottawa. And they're actually they're freelancers, so they have played in the NAC orchestra, and a variety of other things. My mom runs a business that books live music for events and stuff, which is obviously a bit dormant at the moment, given that there's not very many live events. But yeah.
So we've got Kim commenting. I'm not sure if you know who Kim Keeley is, but she's loved to see me in drag, and then I could lip sync to Harea music.
Yes.
You had one of the girls when you were there too. Remember at PSVC, she was a keyboardist, I think it was.
Yeah, Cynthia. So she moved to Toronto a couple years ago.
Oh wow!
And she's like pursuing her own kind of solo music career, and she's doing great. She's got a couple of really good albums out, and so she's not performing with the band as much. She has played a couple times with us since she moved, but it's hard. It's hard when you're not in the same city, but yeah.
So as I've been preparing for this show, and I started playing some of your music last Sunday when I'm on the radio on Blast the Radio, and I love your birthday song. It's your birthday. I'm like, that's a total. I want to play the video this coming Sunday because I kept watching it to try and get inspiration, but really cool. Love it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great. I love that song too. And it totally came from just like, I went to my buddy Liam's place, who plays guitar in the band, who you met as well. And we just were like drinking, and like he had this beat that he made. We were like kind of like jokingly singing over it. And then eventually I was like, I think this could actually be a song. And so it's kind of fun.
And that's pretty good. So I actually noticed on your Facebook, on your YouTube page, you have many songs. So you've been writing quite a few songs.
Yeah. I started writing when I was maybe like 15 years old, just kind of in secret at home. And I started like releasing produced music, I guess, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. And I've just been trying to do it regularly. Although I took a little break between 2018 and 2020. I didn't release any music and kind of rethought what I was doing musically and trained a little bit more and brushed up on some things. But yeah.
And you got to open for Theo. So how was that?
Yeah. Awesome. He's great. I didn't know who he was really before I got that offer, and looked him up and saw, he's got like, pretty big social media following and a cool story with the Canadian Idol stuff. And yeah, he was a real sweetheart, and that was a great opportunity. And also the last time I performed in front of an audience. So
yes, well, that's the last time I pretty much was in general public, because I remember crying a lot that night. And then we went to the Lookout and partied all night long. Well, not party.
I know.
I did get quite a few drinks in with him at the Lookout.
Yeah. I know you were inviting me, and he was really bugging me, but I was in a weird space that show because I had just like
you just lost your grandmother or something.
My grandma, it was my grandmother's funeral that day, and I had just broken up with an ex-girlfriend as well. And it was like, I was like wanting to go out, and I was just like I couldn't bring myself to like, I wanted to go to bed.
Yeah,
like.
Because I was hungover the next day, so you would have been really messy, I'm sure of it.
Oh, it might have not been a good idea, actually.
And that's why I didn't push it. But like after I heard that it was your grandmother's funeral, so we're going to show. Actually, you don't have a video yet, but we're gonna play the song, and I put together a couple of photos of yourself during the song. But do you want to give us the behind the story of Running Again?
Yeah, so Running Again I wrote last year, like early in 2020, I believe. And a lot of songs that I write don't necessarily have like a lot of heavy meaning. So, I try to write a lot, and it's kind of like a journaling exercise for me. But this one ended up being like, it's kind of like telling the story of some like toxic habits and patterns that I've experienced from myself and from my partners in different romantic relationships. And kind of the image of running again is both like running away, because that's something that I tend to do, or have had a pattern of doing, and also kind of running back into those patterns. And so but it's a bit of a heavy topic, but it's also kind of a fun song. So
all right, well, without further ado, to everybody watching and listening, this is Runnin' Again by Harea Band.
I don't wanna sound rude, but I don't like what you do. Talk to me like a child while you go and run wild. That's false virtue, not true. And I don't wanna sound mad, but all the love that you had, you threw it away for some silly dumb game. What the hell is that? But when you bring it on back, got a feeling that you don't know. And so you're coming through asking me why you're telling me to go slow. I know you got something on your mind and it's getting close, it might blow. You got your lipstick stain all over my neck, not a permanent scar, don't want none of that yet. But now you're running again, oh. But now you're running again, oh. And now you're running again, yeah. And I don't wanna be bad, but those temptations are had. Run around with a girl just to go for a whirl, then come crawling right back. And I don't wanna break hearts, make your life fall apart. You want me with her, but you're gonna be hurt. What the hell is that? But when you bring it on back, got a feeling that you don't know. So you're coming through asking me why you're telling me to go slow. I know you got something on your mind and it's getting close, it might blow. I got your lipstick stain all over my neck, not a permanent scar, don't want none of that yet. But now you're running again, no. But now you're running again, no. But now you're running again, yeah. Got a feeling that you don't know. So you're coming through asking me why you're telling me to go slow. I know you got something on your mind and it's getting close, it might blow. I got your lipstick stain all over my neck, it's not a permanent scar, don't want none of that yet. But now you're running again, oh. And now you're running again. But now you're running again, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I
Thank you.
love the song. Love it.
Thanks.
So can you tell us how your approach is now doing music during the pandemic?
Yeah. So obviously had to kind of change our workflow a little bit. So there's like 6 people in my group that I collaborate with, and I haven't seen most of them for a year. So I got to give a shout out and like, a ton of gratitude to my friend Kaylin Penny, who is, oh, thanks Lillian, who is at Soul Keys on Instagram. He's kind of been doing the keyboard stuff for me since Cynthia left, and he basically has been producing all of my music with me remotely. So him and I kind of lay down the parts and record from home and put them in Google Drives and share them back and forth, and we do all our production from our houses remotely. So that's kind of been the big change. And it's changed a bit of the way that I kind of write songs as well. But it's honestly, it's turned up the productivity a lot because, there's a lot less moving parts. We can just start pumping out the songs, and it's been awesome. And I honestly don't know if I'll go back, but it sucks not to be able to perform. That's obviously like income stream that's been just like taken out from under us. But, we're rolling with it.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate. I saw you on another channel a couple of nights ago when I turned the TV on. I was like, "Hey, Alex! I haven't seen him in forever." And then I noticed you were doing a song. So glad, and I appreciate that you took the time and come on the show with me tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me, and thank you for pronouncing my name correctly. Big win.
Actually, it took you quite a few times the first time. You're like, like when you're like, "Hooray, a band!" That's how I remember it.
Well, I'm glad that works because a lot of people, I've gotten some people have butchered it. Introductions at festivals and stuff have gone horribly wrong. So,
and I'm also dyslexic too, eh? So I keep like every time I type it, I'm like, Harea. Oh yeah, it's Harea. So yeah, it's an interesting name. Where does it come from? Do you know?
Harea is like a Romanian name.
Oh.
Yeah, but I don't pronounce it like that, obviously. I've always just said Harea since I was a kid, just for ease of getting people to spell it and stuff. And yeah, so there's it's very Googleable. You're not going to find much else other than our band if you Google
Google, yeah. So thank you, Alex, for being here. If you want to check out Harea bands on YouTube's page, they've got lots of information, lots of music, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming, and I look forward to seeing what you've got going on.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. We'll be right back with affirmation from Lillian.
Gatineau.tv est partout en Outaouais, autant au niveau de la culture, de l'événementiel, mais aussi au niveau de vos entreprises. Si vous avez un projet spécial que vous aimeriez promouvoir, un événement que vous avez créé, eh bien, n'hésitez pas à parler avec un de nos représentants à Gatineau.tv. Vous pouvez nous écrire via notre adresse info@commercialgatineau.tv. Vous aussi, prenez avantage de Gatineau.tv.
Gatineau.tv.
Welcome to Where I Sit with Lillian Carriere, an enlightening and insightful journey to awaken insight into conscious living, personal growth, spirituality, love, relationship, and other related topics. We hope you will be inspired and blessed by this journey. Grab a chair, sit down.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to From Where I Sit. My name is Lillian Carriere, and I'm an angelic intuitive and medium. And I am here today to hopefully inspire you and offer you some wonderful affirmations that you can take with you. I am using some Diana Cooper cards. They're beautiful cards. They are called the Angel of Light cards. And on the back are these images of beautiful angels. And on the opposite side is a paragraph or two to hopefully inspire you for the next part of your journey until we meet again. So what these cards are about is just guidance to remember that if you don't understand the guidance of these cards, it's asking you to kind of sit quietly and meditate on them, to try to look a little bit deeper and to find what the meanings are meant for you and you only. What one card can mean for one person can mean something else for another in the introspect of that. So if you find it doesn't resonate with you or hit you right away, please keep an open mind and wait to find out if anything does hit you later on during your week. So I'm just shuffling them right now for asking for angels and spirit to gently guide us for the card, the soup du jour of the week for everyone. And hopefully it's a great one for everyone. Okay, so what I have for you this week is called generosity, and it reads, generosity is a quality of one's spirit. It is in rejoicing in the good fortune of others, even when you have nothing for yourself to celebrate. It is in an attitude of one's mind, which means that you are happy to give without expecting anything in return. Often we have these people in our lives that give to us and expect something in return, kind of, pardon the alarms, kind of like, what's in it for me? Or I gave you something and you owe me. This is about expectations. When we do something, we do it because we want to do it, we can do it. We don't expect anything in return. And by doing so, we are not disappointing ourselves. Rather, we are inspiring and enveloping that wonderful feeling that we have when it comes to giving and sharing with other people without the strings attached. And if you can think of a child or someone getting a gift on Christmas or their birthdays, and you give to them and they open up the gift and it's like, oh, what a beautiful thing. And the feeling that one gets inside, and there is no expectation of them giving you something back in return. It's that beauty that we feel within ourselves and that we can see in the reactions of others. So this is about one's attitude towards giving. When a card like this is drawn, it's inviting us to be generous-hearted, and it can also indicate that we are ready to aspire to be noble. It's a noble quality to be able to give from the heart and not have any expectations. The angel wisdom of this card is suggesting that you give freely, openly, and lovingly. The rewards for generosity are great. They're fantastic. We see people doing things for people all around the world with this terrible COVID going on. We started off with when the COVID started, using masks from, brassieres for that matter, or even using old t-shirts. All of a sudden, people were sewing these masks for people rather than feeling that self-pity and drawing inwards and feeling discouraged. One came out and inspired others to continue on the journey, to fight the good fight until something could be found to help us with the cure for COVID. Rewards for one's generosity are great, such as, giving food to your neighbors or giving food to the food banks and stuff. So the reward is greater than one can see. There is no expectation in return, but the expectation happens. The karma happens. The good karma happens. People catch on to that. It's like a good deed disease, a love disease where people want to give and not have anything in return. And the world and people at large are benefiting from people giving from the heart without any expectation. And yet the reward of that is people are healthier, people have masks, people got food at home, and the beat goes on. So for all that you give from your heart is returned to you multiplied for sure. So give from your heart. Don't expect anything in return, and just watch. Sit and watch. Wait, and the results come. Look for them. Look for them. So the affirmation here from the card of generosity is, I am generous hearted. So an affirmation is like a mantra. You can put that on your fridge. You can put it on a note, fold it up in your wallet. You can put it in your mirror while you're shaving in the morning or brushing your teeth. And you can say, I am generous hearted. I am generous hearted. Generosity is a beautiful thing. And when one gives without expectations, so much comes back in return. So much does. So many people benefit from others giving in the faith, in the hope, and to inspire and encourage each other. Generosity without expectation does not disappoint us. It is there. It is beautiful. It is divine. I hope you've enjoyed this message. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Lillian Carriere, and welcome to Where I Sit. I hope this has inspired you. For now, peace and peace. Bye.
So thank you so much for that. We do have the Tone Cluster interview coming up. We are going over this week. You know what? Because I've gone from a show that nobody wanted to be on to everybody wanting to be on. So this is great. Do you remember the gay old times back in the day where we all used to have fun? Well, every Sunday on blasterradio.com, Capital Queer Tea Dance with DJ Dis Moi Oui brings us back to the good times, the fun times when we were younger and had careless and carefree attitudes, I guess. Featuring songs from MKTO, Faith Evans, Rita Mesaku, Ria May, Fleur East, and local LGBTQ2 plus singer-songwriters such as country sensation Drake Jensen and queer acoustic soul singer Kimberly Sundstrom. Pour yourself a cocktail, dust off those platform shoes, and get your favorite cleaning outfit on and join me on BTR every Sunday from 2 to 5. Listen to us and tell your smart speaker to play Blast the Radio, or watch us on twitch.tv/diverseinthecapital.tv or twitch.tv/Blast the Radio. Here comes the Tone Cluster interview.
Get ready to go on the journey of the finest music, mixed by BTR's Capital Queer Tea Dance with DJ Dis Moi Oui.
BlastTheRadio.com.
A few months ago, I interviewed a group of amazing individuals from the nation's capital on a virtual event that they were doing. And after seeing the concert, I decided to join them. Tonight, I am back with some of the members of the Tone Cluster's Quite a Queer Choir who have been working on their show the last few months. The show is titled Don't Stop Me Now, featuring songs of resilience. The show will premiere on March 8th, International Women's Day at 7:30 p.m. and streams until March 22nd, featuring live paintings by Therese Bergman, readings, and poetry. In the upcoming virtual concert, the Tone Cluster is celebrating the resiliency and the strength of our queer singing community. They have adapted how we make music and art together. But we can't be stopped. Featuring protest music and contemporary choral pieces, sewn together with exciting videos and beautiful imagery, this is a concert you will not want to miss. Tonight, I am joined by Deirdre Kellerman, Artistic Director. Hello, Deirdre.
Hi, how are you, Andre?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you. Thank you for being with me.
Happy to be here.
And I've got Sue Farley from the Board of Directors and the Treasurer. Hello, Sue.
Hi, Andre. It's great to be here tonight.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you. Thank you for joining us and making the time. And Stéphane Laviolette, a new choir member. Bonsoir Stéphane, ça va?
Salut André, ça va bien?
Ça va très bien, merci. Merci d'être là et puis se joindre avec nous ce soir.
Ça fait plaisir, it's a pleasure.
So, how are you all doing?
I gotta tell you, singing with this group is a great distraction from COVID.
Yes, no doubt.
It makes it exciting. We still get to do some kind of activities and see people even though it's virtually. So it's nice to sing with a group of people.
Yes, and then Deirdre is the choir director. So she reached out to me a couple of months ago, I believe, just before Christmas, to get Horizon in to do the Christmas show, which I had a blast doing that, by the way, which inspired me to audition, right?
Yeah.
And so every Monday nights, there's a rehearsal from 7 to 9:30, 7:30 to 9, which you go through a lot of the music. So it's sheet music. You learn how to read sheet music. You learn how to sing with a bunch of people. And what brought you to the virtual choir?
What brought us, I mean, it was necessity, of course, with not being able to meet together, and having to figure out new ways of doing things, for sure. I think choirs all over the world have gone to Zoom or similar platforms and are trying to figure out how to do this when we can't actually hear each other due to latency issues on these platforms.
Right.
So we're almost a year in, so I think that we're finally starting to get a groove of things.
And we don't really have a choice now either, right? So I know I was one of those pain in the asses during the rehearsals. I'd be like, can we all not sing together, please? Because it's really hard to try and sing with just hearing one person, right?
Yeah.
And then you made a great example by having everybody turn, and then a lot of people are on snail internet, which it doesn't really work very well. Yeah. You actually merged several songs into one little player, I guess, that when you were sharing your music on the computer. So that's one way of doing it, right?
Yeah, totally. So one way that I've kind of figured out how to do it is I'll record myself singing the soprano, alto, tenor, and bass lines, and then put it together so that at least when we're running a rehearsal, you can listen to me sing all the different parts. I'll be able to turn one part up louder or say, okay, this is just going to be the bass and soprano parts you're hearing. So yeah, we're figuring out tips and tricks along the way, how to make this work. But we're definitely looking forward to the day when we can sing in person again. But this is a great alternative as we're staying safe and staying home.
So I do. So we do have a couple of questions that we've actually agreed to talk about, but I really did appreciate when you started to do that, because as someone that doesn't know how to read sheet music, whenever you would sing my specific section that I would have to do, it was easier to follow and highlight my part, right? So that was great. Sue, can you introduce us to Tone Cluster's Quite a Queer Choir and how the choir has been doing when you cannot be doing getting physically together?
Sure. Tone Cluster's been around for 27 years, and we started out as a really small group of people who just wanted to have a safe space for queer people to sing together. There wasn't something that was multi-gendered. It was all either sort of a men's choir or women's choir. And so we've had challenges along the way that we've had to rise to, and COVID brought us another challenge. And we had to learn really quickly, as Deirdre has said, how to do things in a virtual world. And I think, we've tried to stay connected as a community, because part of Tone Cluster is not just the singing, but it's the community that we are together. And that's really important. So we had to quickly learn how to have meetings on Zoom, and we've had karaoke on Zoom, and fancy dress cocktail parties and things like that are really important. And another thing is every week after our rehearsal, the Zoom stays open so that people can chat and just reconnect on a just a friend level, which is really important in our group.
It is, and I've actually I missed a few of the like the big dress up, which doing interviews like this, I get to dress up, but that's once a week, right? Like Wednesdays is pretty much the only day I get to dress up, and I've actually been forcing myself to get out of those friggin' jogging pants. I call them my Zoom pants, right?
I think we all have some of those.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, the COVID pants, more like it, because they got to be stretchy, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Are you all having that same issue?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Too much snacks in the house, and then when you run out, you got to go back out to get them, and it's like, I don't want to go outside.
Yeah.
But then you feel better.
Yes, you do.
Right? So Stéphane, je comprends que tu es nouveau au groupe. Tu veux-tu nous expliquer comment ça va pour toi, puis comment tu trouves ça?
Ouais, ben j'ai commencé au mois de janvier, donc je crois en même temps que toi, André. Après donc c'est le premier concert auquel je participe. C'était un peu it was a bit overwhelming at the beginning, because I arrived here without really knowing how to read sheet music and never been in a real choir before. So the first few times I was like, okay, I'll just listen and try to follow along. But after two practices, I really got the groove of it, and it was really nice. I was looking forward to it every Monday. Okay, great. After work tonight, I'm going to take out my sheet music. We're going to sing. And even though we're not next to each other, it's been such a great experience. And I'm so happy that now the first concert in which I'll appear is coming out soon.
Yes. So what type of singer were you before this? Were you like a karaoke singer? Were you a open mic, a stand-up comedian?
I'm very much a karaoke singer, so I would go to karaoke and sing along songs. Actually, one of the songs that we're performing, "Don't Stop Me Now," it was one of my go-to karaoke songs. So I was
very good.
I was pleasantly surprised when I saw that this was the theme of our concert. So very happy.
I know every time I hear that song in a commercial, I'll be like, "Hey, that's our song. You're not allowed to use that."
Yeah. It's definitely going to bring back memories from now on. Every time I'm going to hear that song, I'm going to think of this virtual experience, which was quite different than anything I've experienced before.
So Deirdre, do you want to tell us about the theme resilience and your vision of the concert?
Yeah, for sure. When I started thinking about programs for this year, resiliency came as a no-brainer. It's something that everyone could kind of understand and buy into, whether it was an audience member or a excuse me, my dog, one moment. Whether it was an audience member or all the tone cluster singers, I just recorded my opening words, my welcome for the show the other day, and I was saying it's something that we've had to find in ourselves every day, and it can be exhausting, but you just do it. We figure out how to do it, and I think it's been so healing almost for me going through this process with everyone, to be discussing this, to be vulnerable together. We're all at home by ourselves. Maybe we have a partner or a roommate if we're lucky, but
we haven't choked yet, by the way.
Yeah, well, right. And it's just a great reminder that we are not alone. We're all in this together. And to me, that's what choir is in the best of times. Yeah.
So Sue, where is it that people can tune in and watch the virtual concert?
We will be going live on Monday, March the 8th at 7:30 on our YouTube channel. And it will run for 2 full weeks. So you can watch it as many times as you want and feel hopefully really enlivened by it and strengthened by it, and sing along to us.
Yes, because there's some French music in there too, which I thought was really awesome too, which I'd never heard before. Like I knew one song out of the entire repertoire for this concert, and it was really cool to learn a lot of the music, and it was great. It was a great feeling.
That's one thing that Tone Cluster has always done is do a wide variety of music. I mean, we started out singing madrigals, and now we sing everything and take pleasure in thinking you that's going to sound good, and then it comes together and you go, wow, I never thought I'd like that. This is fabulous.
So my first Tone Cluster concert was with a colleague from work who loves Tone Clusters. So we were at the Showcase Showdown, the very first one that was in, I believe it was Nepean, when you did it at the theater in Nepean, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And it was really great. Like, it was busy, it was packed. So I can understand how you all feel left out and miss the roar of the crowd. But
yeah.
So Deirdre, is it easier or cooler to be able to do the choir virtually as to having to do a concert live?
Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons. I mean, I went into the profession of being a choral conductor to be in the midst of that sound, that special sound that is what happens when you hear a bunch of voices singing together in harmony. And so I miss that. I miss being able to actually make music together in the same space, to feel a crescendo together, or to do a really crisp cutoff all together and collaborate like that. However, there's been silver linings galore. I usually never get an opportunity to get to know everyone's individual voice so well, so I feel like I have this connection with everyone that I wouldn't normally get to have. You know, the fun part of being on Zoom, of course, is getting glimpses into each other's homes. And the great thing about including videos is you get to see people's individual personality and interpretations. And so in some ways, there's been this whole new way of collaborating together that I've really been enjoying.
Well, and I'm actually loving the fact that we're able to do this on video now too, right? So because of the TV channel being online, because not too many people watch cable anymore. It's some kind of a social platform or whatever. But I'm going to actually take your little clip, your promo, and I'm going to play it on Sunday when I'm on the radio as well, because Twitch TV is turning into a really great spot as well. And while I'm DJing a little queer tea dance on Sundays, it just happened that I ended up playing a video, and I couldn't get rid of the video because it was supposed to be my studio cam that was on. And do you remember Much Music when they used to play videos and they used to have Electric Circus and Speaker's Corner? Well, that's what Sunday is all about now, and that's what Wednesdays is about too. So anytime any one of you want to come and chat on DITC Social or on Diversity Capital itself, I would love to have you all, like, anytime.
Awesome. Thanks, Andre.
Thank you so much.
So Sue, I understand the concert is being streamed for free. So anyone can watch it. How does Tone Cluster cover its costs?
Well, we're very fortunate that we have dues. We have some seasoned sponsors out in the community, in the business community, which really help. We do get some grants from the city and the Ontario Arts Council. But probably our biggest source of revenue is from individual donors. And there will be an opportunity when you're watching the show to donate. Click on the button and donate. But it's really great financially for the choir that people donate to us, because we need that support, and now we're learning all sorts of new ways of presenting ourselves. But the other boost that it gives us is just knowing that we're reaching such a wide variety of people. I mean, we're reaching people with our virtual concerts across North America, and it's just such an interesting thing when I, as the treasurer, I see where these donations are coming from, and it's so wonderful that we're reaching far beyond.
And when I had your video from the Community Pride Day that I did in August, your Tiny Lights video, like, oh my God, that was mind blowing and amazing. And it hits your right in the jugular of your heart. Really, it's
Oh,
beautiful.
good. That's wonderful to hear.
Oh yeah, no, the first time I got to premiere it before you guys actually released it, or you folks, I gotta stop saying guys. And I remember being in the garage watching it, and yeah, I had only had one beer, so I can't blame it on the alcohol, but or was I cutting onions? No, I wasn't. Yeah, I cried like a baby. Like, oh my God, it was amazing. Beautiful. So part of this concert, you're going to have an artist during the virtual concert. Who wants to explain what that's all about?
Yeah, I'll take a go of explaining it. Excuse the dog barks in the background. What I love to do, whether it is these virtual concerts or live in-person concerts, is collaborate with different types of artists. So musicians, choral musicians working with pop musicians, working with visual artists, working with dancers. I think interdisciplinary collaboration is a beautiful, wonderful, powerful thing. And I've done some shows in the past where we've had visual artists painting and making art while the choir is singing, and it just adds a really cool other level to a concert. It's kind of a combination of like an art battle. If you've ever gone to see like a timed amount of time that people have to create something, there's something so joyous in it.
There's an artistry to that as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I connected with an artist. They're a student at Carleton, Therese Bergman, and I'm so pleased with the final result that you'll see in the concert. I don't think it's giving anything away to say that it's a portrait of Stormy DeLarvery, who, of course, is one of the civil rights icons in the queer community, is one of the first people to start the Stonewall riots. And so to be watching this portrait being painted of this really powerful, incredible icon in our community while while we're singing about hope I just thought it was such a wonderful combination.
So you've actually inspired me with the resilience, because I'm like my record producer, I'm working on a single. It's not going to be anything spectacular, but DJ Russia Noise and I are working on some kind of like a dancey trance kind of song. Mainly it's going to be dealing with my resiliency to going through the chemotherapy and everything. And when you did when we took the rehearsal and we didn't do the rehearsal and we all went into groups to talk about what resiliency meant to us, and I was trying to remember a lot of the words that came up for that. And now every time I see something on TV, I'm like, oh, that's resilient. oh, that's resilient. Like I'm walking around with paper now.
Good.
Yeah, I love that. And that was such a great part of, as Sue was saying, Tone Cluster, our experience is developing as a community, not just making music. And so to be taking the time in rehearsals, not just to be singing and practicing, but to be getting to know each other better and more deeply, to be vulnerable, and to realize how broad a topic resiliency is, that it's not just the pandemic, but there are so many things in our own lives that we've had to find it in ourselves to get through, whether it be chemo or a pandemic or whatever. So that was really special to be able to share that with each other.
I'm even calling myself resilient for wanting to sit on the couch at the same place every time. I try and change it up because I'm really tired of sitting on the couch, actually. Like, there's just only so much that you can do. And yeah, at least it's going to be summer soon, so we'll be able to be outside. And that's why when the radio was like, why do you want Sunday? Like, what is the tea dance? And I was like, oh, Sunday is the best day because that's when everybody's in their backyard having a cocktail, enjoying the sunshine between 2 and 5. Perfect time for it. And there's going to be even some live on location. So if you all ever do a concert again, then I can do a little live on location from that. Deirdre, are you welcoming new choir members after this concert?
Yeah, so we have another concert that we'll be presenting in June. We usually only have formal audition periods in September and in January, but if anyone is ever wanting to join us, now would be a great time to get in contact with us. You can go to our website, www.tonecluster.ca, and yeah, you'll be able to get in touch with us if you'd like more information, and if you want to schedule an audition, a very low stress audition with me.
It is a very low stress audition. I can attest to that. You just have to sing a couple of notes here and there with Deirdre, and then she'll let you know exactly what vocal range you are, which I actually didn't know that I was a tenor. I knew I had a not as powerful Celine voice, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
And Andre, if I may add, as a new member myself, I was very hesitant at the beginning because it made me kind of nervous. But for those who are considering it and are not too sure, I just want to assure you that everyone has been so helpful, even during virtual. There's a lot of people helping you out. I didn't even know at first I was a tenor. They explained to me that I was. There's a little group of tenor and a lead tenor that can guide us. And Deirdre has been so great in providing audio clips and video clips to guide us, and that's been so useful. So if you are considering it and you're a bit nervous about it, don't worry. There's such a great support from every member, and I encourage you to do so.
There is, because, and unfortunately, I've got way too much going on that I've had a hard time trying to submit some of the material because there's deadlines you need to work with, right? And I'm really upset, but I cannot wait to see the final product. Sue, any final words?
I just really hope that everybody loves what we do and has as much fun watching it as we've had making it. It's the deadlines that you were talking about. It's like, I have to do what by when? Oh no, but it's been great. Deirdre, you've done a fabulous job getting it all set up and laid out. And Stefan, I'm so happy to hear both you and Andre that you're really enjoying your experience with Tone Cluster, because there's a couple of us that are in the choir right now that have been with it for 27 years. Yeah. And let me tell you, it is so good to keep welcoming new people to our group. It's so much fun.
And I can't wait to do it in person.
Oh, I know. Yeah. And guess what? I just realized it's 3 tenors. Because I'm a tenor too.
Yeah, there you go.
The 3 tenors and our lovely director.
For this show, at least. For this show, at least. But you have members all across Canada, right?
We do. We've been lucky. Actually, when we did Tiny Lights, we had folks singing with us from the US.
Wow.
Alumni. And right now we've got Vancouver and Thornbury, Ontario.
Wow.
And alumni have come back because we can do it virtually. You don't have to worry about getting to rehearsal on time because it's right here.
I want to thank you all for being on the show with me tonight. And before we share a teaser, I want to remind you all that watching the concert will be available from March 8th to March 22nd on the Tone Cluster's website, tonecluster.ca, or on the YouTube channel, Ottawa Tone Cluster. Here is a sneak peek of the premiere of the show, and then a commercial, and we'll be right back. And now for the Tone Cluster's sneak peek preview for March 8th to 22nd.
Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to shoulder, keep moving on. Resilience, make a new plan, stand up again and say, yes, we can. Resilience, we are strong, shoulder to Keep moving on, resilience. Make a new plan, stand up again and say, yes, we can, resilience.
Well, thank you so much for joining me this evening, Ottawa Gatineau. I hope we will see you all next week. I've had a couple of rough last couple of days. I think I'm going a little COVID crazy right now, but we'll get through this just a little while longer. I keep telling myself that, but hang in there, folks. We'll see you next week.